In the 70s, the Cincinnati Reds won 6 divisional titles. They were the Big Red Machine. If Bench, Morgan, and Perez were its heart, then Pete Rose was its soul. They were the envy of baseball. The Pirates of the 70s were also great, inspired by the late Roberto Clemente, carried on the broad shoulders of Willie Stargell. In '79, they defeated the Reds to win the National League title. But this is the 90s, and both teams are back. The Pirates feature baseball's best outfield, Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke, and Barry Bonds. And the Reds are reviving a 20-year memory behind young superstars Barry Larkin, Chris Sabo, and Eric Davis. Today, it's the 2 first-place teams, the Pirates and the Reds, here on CBS, as we present Major League Baseball. Good afternoon, everyone. On a hot and humid day, a lot of folks will travel over these bridges across the Ohio River to Riverfront Stadium, and today they'll watch the Pittsburgh Pirates take on the Cincinnati Reds once again. As a result of the action last night, Pirates by 2 over the Mets, Montreal 7 out. In the West, Cincinnati 7.5 ahead of the Dodgers and the Giants. I'm Jack Buck with Tim McCarver. And Tim, just when you're ready to say the Reds are home free, they're not.
They were ahead of the Dodgers and the Giants last night by 9. They lost 2. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, 2 up on the New York Mets. And since the end of June, the Mets and the Pirates have been in first and second place, and no more than 2.5 games ever separating them.
And I think today we'll try to help you appreciate these Pirates a little bit more. They are a definite threat to win the pennant.
I think when the season started, everybody knew that they had a good starting 8, but their extra people have really chipped in, especially in the pitching staff.
And we're going to have a couple of left-handers work today. Zane Smith for the Pirates against a rookie, Chris Hammond.
CBS Sports presents Major League Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota.
It is hot and humid in Cincinnati today. The high is going to be about 88 degrees. Here's a hot pitcher in the minor leagues, at least 14-1 at Nashville, and no record thus far. This will be his second major league start.
Defensively for the Cincinnati Reds, Billy Hatcher in left field came over from the Pirates during the offseason. Eric Davis, 3 Gold Gloves in center field. To his credit, Glenn Braggs, the right fielder, obtained from the Milwaukee Brewers earlier this year. Chris Sabo at third base, the Rookie of the Year in 1988. And Barry Larkin, a shortstop some consider the best in the game. Mariano Duncan, what a job he's done after coming over from the Dodgers last year in midseason. Hal Morris, another fine rookie first baseman, batting well over 300 all year. Joe Oliver behind the plate, and on the mound, as Jack said, Chris Hammond.
With Chris Hammond out there on the mound, let's tune in on Lou Piniella talking yesterday about this pitcher.
I'm anticipating a good ball game from him. You know, he knows how to pitch. He moves the ball around. He's got good control. He's got an outstanding changeup. He's got good makeup. So he could really help us, especially now that Danny Jackson's on the DL for 15 days.
Here's the lineup to be faced by the left-hander, Gary Redus playing first, Jay Bell at short, Andy Van Slyke in center, Bobby Bonilla in right field, Barry Bonds in left, Jeff King at third, Don Slaught the catcher, Jose Lind at second, and Zane Smith will make his second Pirate start. Tim, you got a pitcher who's 14-1 at AAA. You better get him up here and start pitching him.
Tell you, he's a fine young pitcher, a fastball, but that's not his best pitch. All speed stuff, a curveball, and his favorite pitch, a changeup that Stan Williams, the pitching coach of the Reds, tells me is about 20 miles an hour slower than his fastball with great arm motion.
They tell me when he first came up, they let him sit around for a while, and then they pitched him, and he only went 2 2/3 innings. Gave 3 hits and 3 runs, but had no record. Here the umpires are going to be working today. Hot behind the plate, it is going to be Gary Darling. Bruce Fremming at first base. He's the crew chief. Frank Pulley is the umpire down at second base, and Steve Ripley is at third. Well, Pulley kicked out Jim Leland from the game last night. He won't be able to reach him from second base today.
That was the top of the second inning when Pulley had called a balk on young Mike York, the Pirate pitcher, one of 19 Pirate pitchers to win a game this year, and that's a National League record.
That is something. 19 pitchers have won games for Pittsburgh. Little wonder they're in first. 20 games over 500 now, and 2 ahead of the New York Mets. This is the former Cincinnati player, Gary Redus, stepping in to take on Chris Hammond. There was a noteworthy news item today, and there's Jim Leyland. He got kicked out in the first game of the doubleheader. Across the way, it is Lou Piniella. He's in front by 7.5, but still not comfortable. First pitch of the day, and it's up high for ball 1. Ken Griffey announced his retirement today, and that caused quite a stir before game time, Tim.
Voluntary retired list, and he told me before the game that he was flying to New York to see Junior play tonight. Seattle playing the Yankees this evening.
Gary Redus takes ball 2. This is the way Jose Rijo started the first game of 2 last night. Got into all kinds of trouble. Redus batting .236 and not doing a very good job in the first inning for Pittsburgh. He takes a strike down the middle. And the Cincinnati crowd is still arriving, and they applauded the strike by the rookie pitcher, Chris Hammond. He's 6'1" and 190. Up high, 3-1. It'll be Redus and then Bell and Van Slyke here in the first inning for Pittsburgh. Tim and I have seen this team a few times this year. Tim, whatever these Pirates seem to need, they always get. A fly ball, a sacrifice, a wild pitch, a double play, whatever it is, they get. There's ball 4. Well, that's no way to start it. Let's check last night's results. Pittsburgh 1-2 here, 7-1 and 4-3, and the Giants defeated the Mets at Candlestick Park 3-2. Well, that changed things around a little bit. And what's the most that Pittsburgh has been ahead all year, Tim?
2.5 since late June.
So they're flirting with that lead.
And if you think a bunt in this situation is unusual, it's not.
We'll see it. Back to the pitcher, and too late at second, I'll bet. Oh, they got him. Redus went in head first, and Hammond barely got the force out at second. With Frank Pulley making the call. Well, that was close.
Most managers will not go for the bunt in the early innings, but Jim Leyland certainly will. And Chris Hammond, with a strong throw to second base, nails Gary Redus, who is fleet of foot. Good play by Hammond.
It was bang bang at second and a fielder's choice for Jay Bell. I know you have more to say about those bunts by Bell in the first inning. 16
sacrifice bunts by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first inning. Jay Bell has 31 for the year. Closest team to follow Pittsburgh in the first inning, the Dodgers, with only 5 sacrifices.
So there's the balk called against Hammond. They called a balk last night against both teams. And this one was Bruce Fremming, the first base umpire, was the first one we heard barking down there. So they didn't get the bunt. Here comes Spinella. What's going on? He's talking to Fremming as he comes out. It's too hot to argue today, fellas.
I'll tell you, it's unbelievable, because last night Jim Leyland, as we said, was kicked out for Frank Pulley calling the balk against Mike York, a young pitcher. And now Lou Piniella going out to Chris Hammond and going to settle him down.
Yeah, the manager cannot argue with the umpire about a balk. And so he's going out there ostensibly to talk to his pitcher and try to settle him down.
Here it is in normal speed. We'll see if Chris Hammond stopped. Did he stop? No, says Frank Pulley, and agreeing with him was home plate umpire Gary Darling.
Yeah, they all jumped on his case. I think what they thought, I think they believed they were going to see the pitcher come all the way in against his body with his glove, and he didn't do that.
It looked like he was changing the grip on the ball when he had the ball in the glove, instead of bringing the glove to the waist as most pitchers do.
In other words, I think he did stop, but he didn't come all the way into the body, and that might have picked the umpires off. In any event, the runner's at second with 1 out. We'll take another look at that balk call. Meanwhile, we await the first pitch to Andy Van Slyke. Hammond gets ahead on the count. Here's another look at that balk. See if he did stop. Doesn't matter where he stopped.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was a balk because I think the leg was coming up before the hands came to a
you're
stop.
right.
That you can't do that. You got to have both feet on the ground when you stop.
You're right. He lifted the leg up before his hands came to a stop. So there's strike 2 on Van Slyke. Now we'll see how Hammond handles this first inning of his second game. This pitcher is from Atlanta, Georgia. High to Van Slyke, who played both games of a doubleheader here last night. Van Slyke has a bad ankle. He says it doesn't bother him when he bats. It does when he runs and when he throws.
Left ankle is taped. May or may not be able to see it, but it does not hurt him to hit.
Curveball throws him, but it's 2-2.
And that was evidenced Thursday afternoon against the Atlanta Braves when Van Slyke got the game-winning home run in his first game back in 11 days. He hurt that ankle going back into first base at Philadelphia on August 5th, but it's fine now.
As you can see, he's good with runners on base. His RBI total 52. Curveball and a little fly to Sabo as he cracked the bat, and there are 2 out.
I guarantee you, when somebody comes back to the bench and you've hit a ball that softly, they're almost trying not to laugh. And Andy Van Slyke, who's got one of the greatest senses of humor, will probably join him. You hate to get jammed, but you realize you didn't hit it, but about, well, maybe he's not using his sense of humor here.
He threw that broken bat away, and it puts it up to the number 4 hitter, Bobby Bonilla. And a wild pitch. The runner to third with 2 out. So there have been no hits in the inning, but the Pirates have a runner at third with 2 out. Bonilla, look at those statistics. 131 hits, 27 home runs, 3rd in the league in home runs, 4th in the league in RBIs. Switch hitter. Runner at third, 2 out. Changeup. Good pitch, 1-1.
This is that pitch that Stan Williams was talking about. Great arm speed. And Bonilla way out in front.
Here comes the runner down the line trying to bother the pitcher. 2 balls and a strike, and he might have seen him out of the corner of his eye. The runner is Jay Bell at third. 2 out. And a good stop by Joe Oliver, the catcher. 3-1. It's tough to pitch around these Pirates, Tim.
I was thinking the same thing. Those middle 3, Van Slyke and Bonilla and Bonds, do a terrific job of picking each other up. If one guy doesn't do it, the other one does.
Bonilla walks. There have been 2 walks here in the first inning. First and third, 2 out. Here comes a very efficient number 5 hitter, Barry Bonds.
Especially when you consider his average against left-handed pitching. Batting .316, but better against left-handed pitching than he is against right-handers. Look at his home runs against left-handers. Bonilla leads the National League. Bonds is second.
And there's ball 1. This is exactly the way Jose Rio got into difficulty last night in the first game of a doubleheader. Hammond hasn't allowed any hits, but he's walked 2. The runners in scoring position. Look at that. A .421 average for Bonds. Well, that's better than his daddy used to do. Late swing and a foul, 1-1.
I think the big difference between Barry and Bobby Bonds, other than the fact that Barry's left-handed and Bobby was right-handed, Barry puts the ball in play. Bobby Bonds holds the major league record for strikeouts in a season, 189. Not so Barry. You're not going to get him by strikes that often, and he walks a lot, too.
Look out. There's ball 2. And he has walked 68 times this year.
Just a breaking ball that stays inside.
And there's a strike. 2-2. Jay Bell is the runner at third base, and at first base, Bobby Bonilla. Bonilla's not a big threat to steal. 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Line drive, it's going to drop. fair. Drive in one and only one on a ground rule double as the ball disappeared. There's the Pirates for you. Whatever they need, they get. A 2-out hit from Bonds, and they lead 1-0.
Barry Bonds is just having a remarkable year. I'll tell you, it would be tough to pick the valuable Pirate right now. Is it Bonilla or Bonds? Once again, with 2 out, a base hit down the left field line, and the Reds got a break there. Had that ball stayed in play, Bonilla probably scores.
Now Hammond off the full windup to Jeff King. He's playing third base. He has 7 home runs, and he smashes one to Larkin. And the inning is over. So it's 1 run on 1 hit. 2 left for Pittsburgh. They'll send Zane Smith, their left-hander, to the hill. Zane Smith started the season with Montreal. He's 7-7. He's 1-0 with Pittsburgh. He is 0-2 against Cincinnati this year. Don Slott's catching today, but here's what Mike LaValliere said about Zane Smith's pitching.
Well, Zane basically has 4 pitches. He throws a hard sinker, a riding fastball in on right-handers. He's got a good overhand curveball, a slider, and a changeup. He mixes them around and just basically throws strikes, goes right at the hitters, and make the other team beat him.
And what he was saying is he doesn't blow people away. Look at this lineup. Barry Larkin at short, Mariano Duncan at second, Chris Sabo at third, Eric Davis in center. They're waiting for him to get going. Glenn Braggs in right, Al Morris at first, Billy Hatcher in left, Joe Oliver catching, and Chris Hammond, who gave up the run in the first. And the first batter is Barry Larkin. He's hitting .302 with 5 home runs, and he's stolen 23 bases. And ball 1 from Zane Smith. Smith used to be with Atlanta and then Montreal, and over here now with Pittsburgh, and they're stockpiling left-handed pitchers, Tim.
They have 6 now.
Up the middle, and nothing doing. A diving try by Jay Bell and a base hit by Larkin. Pitcher can't do anything about that. He got him to hit the ground ball.
What the Reds try to do is look down in the strike zone, because that's where Zane Smith is more effective. Forget about the ball above the waist. Look down in the strike zone. He gets a lot of ground balls, and he gets one here. Unfortunately for Smith, it finds a hole.
Yeah, there's not much the pitcher can do about that. But it's a base hit. Larkin a threat to steal, and Zane Smith has people taking a lot of liberties with him stealing bases.
And it's really unusual. Smith, of 28 base stealers that have tried to steal second, 26 have made it. 26 of 28, and he's a left-hander.
Mariano Duncan looks at a strike. Duncan with a lofty .331 average. Third base coach is Sam Perlazzo, formerly of the New York Mets. And across the way to our mind, both Tim and me, the first base coach is Tony Perez. He is coaching Larkin. Duncan hits a double play ball to Bell to lean. Tags out. Gary Reedus down there at first base is not an accomplished first baseman, but he knew what to do on the wide throw by Lean.
Bell and Lean, not individually spectacular with the exception of Lean's range, but together they make a fine double play combination. Lean very quick and quite adept around second base.
I think he told the shortstop earlier, you gave it to me a little high and a little behind me. That threw him off stride a bit. But he's terrific at second. Chris Sabo bats with the bases empty. 2 out. Strike 1. Well, we see the difference in these 2 pitchers already. The rookie Hammond all over the place, walked a couple. Smith throwing strikes. And there's a foul, strike 2.
Yeah, that's a bad play right there. 2 out, nobody on. A struggling Eric Davis on deck. I think if you're Chris Sabo, even though he does have the advantage of stealing a base, if you're Chris Sabo against a left-hander, you try to hit a double or an extra base hit with 2 outs.
He's hit 22 home runs. It was a strange call. Unless he just didn't like the way the third baseman was cheating against him, playing as deep as he was.
I think third baseman will go ahead and give a guy like Sabo with good power, give him the bunt base hit with 2 out and nobody on. If they give it to you, often it's not the time to take it.
1-2, 2-2. First inning, 1-0 Pittsburgh. Sabo, 22 home runs, 58 runs batted in. Quiet man. And there's one to the third baseman who was able to charge and throw. 1 hit, a double play, nobody left. 1 inning, 1-0. First place, Pirates on top. I saw Jim Leyland a lot this spring. He said, man, I need some pitching. Look where he is now, Tim.
He was talking about quality, though, not quantity. He's had 21 pitchers this year, and as we said, and it can't be overstated, 19 different Pirate pitchers have won games for the Pirates this year, a National League record.
And the leadoff hitter is Don Slaught, the former Yankee. Slaught hitting .320. He's all banged up from a collision at home plate the other night with Andres Galarraga. I like the way he gets his bat out in front.
Got great extension. He really does. Signed initially with Kansas City. He's been with Texas. That freak accident up in Boston in '86 where he was nailed in the left cheek by a fastball from Royal Can Boyd. He had to wear that facial protection for about a year after that. Frightening thing.
Frightening also. 1 out of 19. Hitting against the left-hander Chris Hammond. That one just missed. 2-2. Well, Ken Griffey caused a stir here before the game when he announced his retirement. We chatted with him yesterday. Here's a fly ball into left, and there is Billy Hatcher, 1 out. And so this is what Ken Griffey told us yesterday.
Well, at this point, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about maybe the possibility of playing 1 or 2 games in Seattle, but you know, I just can't speculate on that now. Right now, it's just a situation where I may retire at the end of the year.
Why Seattle?
Well, because Junior's up there. You know, it's I guess one of those history type deals with a lot of people. It's not only me. It's a lot of people been wanting me to just go to Seattle to play, but this is like collusion, and I want to, you know, cut that real quick.
The batter is Jose Lean. The count is gone to 1 ball, 1 strike. Wouldn't that be nice if he could play with his son in Seattle? He can't do it this year, though.
Cannot do it this year. That's right. The rules for a voluntarily retired player says that no player shall be reinstated within 60 calendar days of a championship season. So if Ken Griffey Sr. wants to play with Junior, it'll have to be next year.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Lean. And a fly ball lofted for Glenn Braggs. 2 out. Boy, that Braggs is a big, big man. I saw him yesterday in the Cincinnati dressing room. He is built like a tight end in football. There are 2 out. And the batter is going to be Zane Smith. He is not helpless at the plate. He's had 8 hits. The left-hander might make him helpless. Maybe. Strike 1. He's got a shot at getting him out, doesn't he? 1-0. The Pirates lead in the second. Broken back ground ball. Sabo. Drive it out. And down and order Pittsburgh. An inning and a half. 1-0 Pirates.
There are those who thirst for something different. Something beyond the ordinary. For them, there is a beer that refreshes like no other. Michelob Dry. Once you've experienced its bold taste with no aftertaste, there's no going back.
What's the new dress code for guys? Get into Sears and find out. Sears, now something for everybody. Now get Levi's jeans, $19.99, Kotler pants, $18.99, and Bugle Boy pants, $18.99 at Sears.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. I love how you set me free, Toyota.
Toyota's new four-wheel drive, four-door 4Runner for $19.90. Space, luxury, and V6 power. Where you go is your concern. Getting you back is ours.
George Brett, first base, Kansas City. Barry Larkin, shortstop, Cincinnati. Karen Foster, student, Boston. Larry Cohen, dentist, Chicago.
Ever since Major League Baseball introduced the authentic Diamond collection of clothing and equipment identical to the pros, it's gotten a lot harder to tell the players from the fans. The authentic Diamond collection, a part of baseball you can call your own.
The preceding was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Earlier this week, the Los Angeles Dodgers, they were leaving Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. They lost the game, but 10 of them, Mickey Hatcher, Ray Searage to the right, and in the green, Rick Dempsey, he won the Rodney Danger look-alike contest. The one who dressed the worst won $100. It was a $20 ante, and Rick Dempsey won. I'll tell you, I've known a lot of ball players who didn't have to enter a contest to dress bad.
Those guys were dressed like flood victims. We'll see those Dodgers next week entertaining the Mets. Here's Eric Davis in a strike call. Speaking of clothing, Tim, our director, Joe Assetti, went into a men's store. He said, give me something to go with the suit, and they gave him a cheap bottle of wine. Eric Davis hits a foul, and it's strike two. Davis leading it off here in the second with the Reds trailing 1-0.
Tell you what Davis has done so far has not suited the Reds. Only 15 home runs, a .226 batting average.
I think they're kidding themselves. Here is a half swing and a ball, 1-2. Eric Davis says, if I hit .230 and we win the pennant, what's the difference? But I don't think the Reds will buy that.
First year of a huge contract.
And a strikeout on a bad ball high from Zane Smith.
Now, this is the only time Smith will come in on right-handers. Eric Davis, a low ball hitter. When you hold the bat that low, you can't get around on that high fastball, and Smith throws the fastball perfectly up and in to Davis. You could almost see with the swing how he was crowded.
And a few boos cascaded down from the fans. The batter is Glenn Braggs. He's hit 3 home runs since coming over here from Milwaukee. First pitch is up high from Zane Smith. Fired left-handers served up 3 ground balls in the first inning. Just Van Davis. And he, third baseman backed up and let that ball play him, and Braggs is on with 1 out.
See how it's going to be scored. This ball eats Jeff King up down at third base. A lot of times with that in-between hop, you don't know whether to charge it or play back on it. And he plays back on it, and Glenn Braggs has a base hit. Kind of liberal scoring, but I think it should have been a hit more than an error.
Puts Braggs on at first with 1 on and brings up one of the hottest hitters in baseball, Hal Morris, who is batting .382. Strike 1, and left-handers haven't bothered him one bit.
Well, this left-hander could. He's hitting .382, but Zane Smith is nasty against left-handers. Left-handers batting only .178 this year, .136 last year against Zane Smith. He eats lefties alive.
There's a double play ball. Whatever the Pirates need, that's what they get. A hit, double play, nobody left. We played 2, 1-0 Pittsburgh.
The world's toughest tennis, the U.S. Open.
Neoprene presents the Neoprene Painful Play. With cat-like quickness, Tony Pena teams up with Tim Naring to cut down Dave Winfield in this Nuprin Painful Play.
Painful wisdom teeth, aching molars. For these kinds of tough pains, see your dentist about the different medicine in Nuprin. 2 Nuprin give better pain relief than 2 extra-strength Tylenol. Nuprin, little, yellow, different, better.
Remember growing up in 1960? That was the year the American Dental Association first recognized a toothpaste for its power to help prevent cavities.
Crest has been shown to be an effective decay preventer.
In the 30 years since, we've grown up with fewer cavities. And Crest and the ADA are still working to ensure healthy teeth for a new generation of kids. Ours.
Sponsored by Crest.
To a young family like the Holstons, buying a house is a pretty major investment. Luckily, it's an investment they can protect. I'm State Farm Agent Greg Lemansky. Al and Holly had a lot of questions about homeowners insurance. We discussed them all, and State Farm had the answers, plus the coverage and a price that made them feel comfortable. That's a big part of our Good Neighbor service, helping people feel comfortable with their insurance.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We tested STP oil treatment under the worst possible conditions. In the taxi cabs in New York City. The result? Engine lift to wear was reduced by up to 50%. And now there's an STP for your newer car, too.
If you don't like the looks of your car, shoot it with Son of a Gun from STP. Shoot the dash, seats, tires, and roof. Son of a Gun protectant. Man, what a difference.
Into the 3rd inning, snappily, as a result of 2 Pittsburgh double plays against the Reds. Top of the order for the Pirates, Reedus drew a walk, and that led to a run in the 1st. He went from Cincinnati to the White Sox and then back to the National League with the Pirates. And a strike as the rookie left-hander Chris Hammond gets ahead in the count. And a ball. At one time, this Reedus, when he first broke in with the Reds, was considered one of the fastest runners in the National League, one of the best base stealers. Had a few injuries, slowed him down. Fly ball for Braggs to handle. 1 out. Celebrating a birthday today is the other catcher for the Pirates and the left-handed hitter, Mike LaValliere. He is 30 years old. Spanky is his nickname.
Also, battery mate at times, Bill Landrum, who leads the Pirate relievers in saves, and it's Marge Schott's birthday today. Marge Schott, the owner of the Cincinnati Reds.
There's a strike to Jay Bell, who faked a bunt. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time. Landrum is 32 years old today. Marge Schott won't tell us how old she is. That's in at the knees, and Hammond has found his stride. There's Ron Oster, number 16 of the Reds, and he became a daddy just a couple of days ago. Their 4th child, a new son named Josh. They have 2 boys, 2 girls. That's the latest from the gossip column here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Hammond has retired 5 in a row. 2-2.
Usually you see most hitters with their bat straight up and down. Jay Bell is unusual, even though Bobby Bonilla holds his bat flat also. Unusual style with Bell with those constantly mobile fingers. And see how flat his bat is?
And he hit that one curving foul, going out of play. That's unusual power for Bell, although he does have 5 home runs.
Almost dialing long distance right here with this breaking ball down and in, and it just hangs right there. A lot of people think that hanging breaking balls are up in the strike zone. You can hang a low pitch too. I think the best definition of a hanger is one whose action stops in the strike zone.
There's a half swing, and it keeps it 2-2.
You can hang a fastball. Anything that's not generating either velocity or action through the strike zone, in my mind, is a hanger, whether it's up or down.
Including a fastball?
Sure, sure. That's when young pitchers have a tendency to pitch to a hitter and not through a hitter to the catcher.
He missed with that one, running it to 3-2. Leadoff man is gone in the third with Pittsburgh on top 1-0. And he missed with that, and that's the third walk by the left-hander. Coming up next on CBS, 5 third-round action of one of golf's most exciting events, the International. Very complicated scoring system. The action from Castle Rock, Colorado. Here's the way they award the points. Double eagle, 8. Eagle, 5. Birdie, you get 2 points. For a par, you don't get anything. I'd hate that. Bogey, -1. Double bogey or worse, -3.
Since you shoot even par, right?
Oh, yeah. 24 players will make the final cut to play Sunday. They begin tomorrow with no points. It's a modified scoring system. Here's Andy Van Slyke. And the runner is going and punched out. Joe Oliver gunned him down. Good quick tag down there, too, at second base.
Quick tag by Barry Larkin and a quick release by Joe Oliver. Tell you, Larkin is getting up awfully slowly. You remember that slide by Will Clark. You see Larkin down on his left knee, and when he gets up, he does not spryly get up and walk to his position. That left knee still bothering him from that Clark slide 8 days ago.
So there are 2 out, and Van Slyke misses.
Watch how Larkin gets down low to the ground to where he can make that quick tag. Well, that is perfect execution by Joe Oliver and Barry Larkin.
You see too many middle infielders come in front of the base and then can't make the tag, and Van Slyke stays alive on 2.
Or by the time they make the tag, they've caught the ball in front of the bag, and bringing it back takes time, and often that's time to give the base runner a chance to get into second base. Good play by Larkin and Oliver.
2 out here in the top of the third. The Pirates do some running. They'll steal, they'll hit and run, and they can hit the long ball as well. And Slyke chops another foul. This crowd is going to be warm this afternoon. It's headed for a high of 88 degrees, and it is humid here in Ohio's Queen City. More than 30,000 watching the action. They were disappointed last night when their first place Reds lost 2. But they liked that out in San Francisco and Los Angeles. This pitcher, Chris Hammond, has already thrown 47 pitches up the middle. And that is the second base hit for the visiting Pirates. That pitch was up high.
Hammond tried to crowd Van Slyke with the fastball, and that's what you have to do with Andy. Andy, a good low ball hitter. He's almost a sweep hitter. And most sweep hitters don't have real quick hands, but Van Slyke sweeping the ball. Watch this pitch as Hammond tries to get in on Van Slyke. He comes up and over. Line drive hit to center.
Now a changeup to Bonilla. This batter, Bonilla, walked his first time. And a hitting streak with a couple of home runs last night in the doubleheader, 1 in each game. He cracks that one into the corner, and there's a chance for the left fielder, Hatcher, and goes. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, a man out stealing, 1 left. Pirates have left 3. They lead 1-0, bottom of the third. We'll return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station.
Bills, insurance. This is my favorite one. You give an insurance company a couple of $100 a month. When you die, they give you back $50,000. I say, why not give me the $50,000 up front? I give them a couple of bucks a month, and when I die, they can keep the rest. I'm a genius.
Get ready for Lenny.
Somebody get that phone!
This fall on CBS.
This is CBS.
Nothing's too good for my baby. Nothing. So my baby gets very special treatment.
Treat your baby to the gasoline with special detergency that protects the entire intake system.
Fill it up. Ultra.
Sunoco Ultra 93.5 octane. High detergency, high octane. It's clean power nobody else can match.
Nobody.
Let me see, what's in the fridge for dinner? Olives, ketchup, and then here we got, something furry. Okay, well, what's in the freezer? Oh, my golf shoes. That's where they went.
Don't worry, Pizza Hut delivers.
Here's a deal on 3 great Pizza Hut pizzas you'll love. Pepperoni Lovers Pizza, Cheese Lovers Plus Pizza, and Meat Lovers Pizza. 1 for $9.99, any 2 for just $4 more.
For fast, free delivery, call Pizza Hut Delivery today. Limited delivery area.
Here's one great offer on one great new car. The totally new 1991 Ford Escort. From now until September 3rd, your Ford dealer can arrange low 4.8% financing for 48 months on any new 1991 Ford Escort. Plus, get up to $744 in factory discounts. But remember, low 4.8% financing for 48 months on a new 1991 Ford Escort only lasts until September 3rd.
Get 4.8% financing for 48 months on Ford Escort, only at your local Ford dealer.
Cincinnati has hit into 2 double plays today. They've been slowed down. We look at the Pirate bench. They're loose. That's R.J. Reynolds, number 23. He's on the disabled list with a pulled hamstring. Told me, Tim, he's just about ready.
The 23rd of August is when he should come off, or eligible to come off. When's that? Next Thursday or next Friday?
They miss him because he's a good outfielder and a good switch hitter off the bench. Dane Smith misses low, ball 1. Number 7 hitter for the Reds is Billy Hatcher. Much traveled now. And a foul.
Tell you, some zany things happen on the bench, and R.J. Reynolds, one of the really good guys in the game, always a smile. Former Dodger, coming along with Sid Bream in the Bill Madlock trade 5 years ago. But I'll tell you, during a pennant stretch, some really wacko things happen when you're on the bench. You know, these guys are trained to perform. They're not trained to sit. When they're sitting over there, some wild and crazy things happen.
This is going to be close if it stays fair. Foul ball. And it's 2-2. Speaking of bench people, we talked about Ken Griffey announcing his retirement. Some people here had the feeling that he was cut loose by Cincinnati, but that's not the case, at least officially. And a lot of these Cincinnati players were upset about the departure of Ken Griffey, including Ron Oster, whom we showed you earlier. There he is, number 16. And the Pirate players thought it was unusual for him to leave in the middle of a pennant race, Tim.
And we thought it was unusual because, as you saw on that little talking head last night, he wasn't sure. And it happened suddenly this morning.
This is Hatcher leading off in the 3rd. Pittsburgh leading 1-0. Each team 2 hits. Fly ball to right. Bonilla. 1 out.
We told you about what could happen in a pennant race and how wacky it gets. Last Saturday, the Red Sox are matching rally caps and rally faces with the Seattle Mariners. It looked like the Red Sox won because Dwight Evans hit a home run and the Red Sox won it in regulation play. I've heard of rally caps. These guys had rally heads. Check it out. They have shaving cream on. You can't even tell who's who.
Here's the strike to Joe Oliver, batting 8th. And the Angels and Red Sox are scoreless in the 3rd. That ball is going to drop. Oliver forced one out there for the 3rd hit for the Reds, 1 in each inning. There's Lou Piniella, the manager of the first-place Reds. 7.5 ahead of the Giants and Dodgers. Here's the pitcher Hammond with no official Major League at-bats.
You don't have a fast runner at first base. A play that's vanishing in baseball is the bunt and run. When you don't have a fast runner at first, you send the runner. But you have to have a guy who can handle the bat.
And Hammond took ball 1.
And most of the time, pitchers cannot handle the bat as well as regulars, of course, especially a pitcher like Hammond, who doesn't bat that much in the minor leagues. They use the DH in most leagues. Hammond coming up from Nashville.
He got that one down, and Smith throws, and he got him. And he got him. That's the third double play into which Cincinnati is hit. This one won 1-6-3. We played 3 innings, 1-0 Pirates.
Today's word is garbage. What's garbage? Well, garbage is anyone who's into drugs. If you're into drugs, don't get into my shoes. Mr. Robinson doesn't like garbage in his shoes. If you're into drugs, don't come into my neighborhood. Mr. Robinson doesn't like garbage in his neighborhood.
In case you were wondering, in case there was even a lingering doubt, he's back. Boxing on HBO.
I'm a real wild one. Wild one. Wild one. Wild one.
Freewheeling, scene-stealing, out of control. Summer movies on HBO. Simply the best. Nothing's rougher on a man's face than shaving. That's why there's Skin Bracer. It's more than an aftershave. It soothes, cools, tightens pores, so it's good for your skin.
Thanks. I needed that.
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By men.
What's the new dress code for guys? Get into Sears and find out. Sears. Now something for everybody. And now, get into Bugle Boy pants for only $18.99 at Sears.
According to a national survey, employers are looking for people who can handle heavy responsibilities. People with the ability to overcome obstacles, perform under pressure, and work well with others. Men and women with the pride and self-discipline it takes to reach new heights. Which is why some of the most successful people in the white-collar world start off green.
Watch the bunt play fielded by Zane Smith, but more importantly, watch shortstop Jay Bell get out of the way of Joe Oliver. Because the ball is bunted in front of home plate, we talked about Oliver's speed. Bell eluding Oliver, and Hammond nailed in a double play. 3 in 3 innings.
Here goes a long one by Bonds, and that makes it 2-0. And he whacked that one. Number 24 for number 24.
A remarkable year, and you just can't say enough about Barry Bonds. He's driven in both runs today with a double and a home run. Home run number 24, RBI number 90. Boy, did the Pirates know what they were doing when they moved him from the 1 hole to the 5 hole.
Now Jeff King a foul. This pitcher Hammond had walked 3, and you can see he was trying to get ahead here at the start of the 4th inning. And Barry Bonds was thinking with him and knocked it out of here. 2 runs on 3 hits for Pittsburgh.
It looked like a breaking ball from Hammond to Bonds. The impressive thing, how Bonds waited. Boy, that is a classic swing right there. He knew it right off the bat.
And how many home runs against left-handed pitching?
13. 1 behind Bobby Bonilla.
Jeff King is punched out, and that is the first strikeout for Hammond today. He's walked 3, allowed 3 hits, and now fanned 1. And he'll deal with Don Slott, who flied to left his first time. Tell you, these Pirates are not to be trifled with. 20 games over 500. That's impressive at this stage of the season.
Every time they have faltered, people in baseball have said, well, now's the time for the Mets to make the move. But the Mets have never made the move enough to blow the Pirates out.
They made
On
that
the
one big
contrary, they made it to get close. But once they got close, they've stayed level. As we mentioned in the opening, since the end of June, it's been 2.5 games between the two teams, rattling back and forth between first and second.
1-1 to Slott. That's up high. Now the Mets are involved in that West Coast trip, and frequently they bite the dust out there.
3-5 their first time out there, and the Pirates 13-5 on their West Coast trip.
And they've already made both West Coast trips, so they're finished going out there. There are a lot of reasons why things favor the Pirates this year. 2-2. For the shortstop, Larkin. He laid back with the slow-running slot. Two out.
Well, we'll try to be specific and show you why things favor the Pirates over the New York Mets. Of course, you can't exclude Montreal, but head-to-head, 6 games of the 8 games left remaining are played at Pittsburgh. And on road games, the New York Mets have 7 more than the Pirates. The Pirates, by the way, one of 2 teams in the National League over 500 on the road, but the Mets are not a good road team. Here are some more reasons. Look at the left-handed matchup. New York batting .240 versus left-handers. That's the worst in the National League. And the 13-5 record by Pittsburgh compared to 3-6 by the Mets on the West Coast, and that's where the Mets are right now.
So you're looking at the people who should be favored to win it. Not only are they in first place, but they have a lot of things going for them. Lean applied to right his first time. He's had a wonderful season for the Pirates. And a foul. That's his stroke off to the right. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think add to all those reasons, Jack, the fact that the Pirates picked up Zane Smith. We talked about Pittsburgh having 6 left-handers, and the Mets, very important, 6 of the 11 pitchers for the Pirates are left-handers, and the Mets, the poorest average in the league against left-handed pitching.
2-2 to the batter. And Tim mentioned Montreal. They're only 7 out. They're 7 out on the lost side and not to be disregarded. That's going to drop in. Good piece of hitting by Lean. He'll try for 2. Say, that's him.
Excellent base running. Even if you're thrown out on a play like this, you've taken a worthy chance. And this is also a play that wouldn't have happened on grass. But because the ball bounces high, and Lean's certainly familiar with that, look how high that ball was off the ground. About 4 inches off the ground, but it takes that high hop on the rug, and Eric Davis, an excellent outfielder, 3 straight Gold Gloves.
Now ground ball to third, and Sabo will throw out the pitcher, Zane Smith. A home run by Bonds. 1 other hit. 1 man left for Pittsburgh. They've stranded 4. Home half of the 4th inning. Pittsburgh on top. 2-0.
Toyota presents All-Around Champions. Roger Clemens is a 2-time Cy Young Award winner and star pitcher of the Boston Red Sox. And as founder of Rogers Rocket Boosters, he has teamed up with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston in donating tickets to thousands of youngsters. Toyota is proud to contribute $1,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Boston. Toyota salutes All-Around Champions.
Right now it's Toyota. Shopping time.
It's Toyota shopping time.
Toyota.
The right time of the year to make a great deal on a trouble-free Camry.
You feel so good. 'Cause that's a real
Time for incentives up to $1,200. Time for option packages that can save you more.
Here comes Camry just for you. Wagon, V6, all-track too.
Great Camry selection, great deals at your Toyota dealer now.
Toyota shopping time.
Kellogg's Product 19 has 100% of 8 essential vitamins. To get this from Cheerios, you'd have to eat 4 times as much. Open wide. Count on 19. Product 19.
This soap, they say the little people put a spell on it so the scent of it could last a man clean through the day. Capture the last incentive. Irish spring deodorant soap. The Irish never quit.
Nothing beats the USA. Nothing beats what we've got here. Nothing beats clean, crisp, cold. Nothing beats the king of beer. Yeah, nothing beats the black.
These Pirates Pirates are bouncing around pretty well.
I'll tell you, the National League West is so volatile. It's almost like the stock market nowadays. The leads the Cincinnati Reds have that just keep fluctuating back and forth. Before last night's games, they were 9 out. And if LA or San Francisco win today, they could be 6.5 out if the Reds lose.
I bet the Reds were dreaming about winning 2 instead of losing 2.
Or at least splitting.
Here in this game, they have hit into 3 double plays, and the top of the order is up. And Larkin, who singled his first time, takes ball 1 from Zane Smith. Montreal made that trade and got a couple of prospects for the future. Off-speed pitch and a fly ball to right. Tim, you could see his fingers fully extended after he delivered that ball on the changeup.
Sometimes hitters pick that up, too. A lot of times when a pitcher is throwing that particular pitch, you don't want to show your fingers too much. That palm ball, and Barry Larkin rather upset. He didn't get a knock off Smith.
He's 1 for 2, and Duncan hit into a double play his first time. Change up and another ground ball. Third baseman. Pirates don't do many things wrong. There are 2 out. And the Reds are flat. They lost here last night, 7-1, 4-3. They had won their previous game. And here's one of the favorites over here, and you could hear the swell of crowd noise. Come on, Chris. Get something going here. 2-0 Pirates. Sabo grounded to third his first time. Foul back here. And out of the reach of Slaught. Slaught was telling us how banged up he was, Tim.
A hematoma, severe bruise in his left hamstring area. Andres Galarraga, what had happened was Slaught went out to field a bunt. He threw to first. Galarraga was on second, of course, of the Expos, and he tried to score and ran into the back of Slaught, who was receiving the throw back from the first baseman. They were draining that leg, and often when a catcher's legs are really sore, it's painful even to give the signs, and I would imagine that's why he's given the target from one knee.
Why he's catching on one knee.
Right.
2 balls and a strike. I hadn't noticed that.
It's that left hamstring, and Don was telling us before the games last night how much it hurt him even to squat.
Our director, Joe Assetti, is a former catcher, so I bet we'll see that shot again. I'll bet you. There are 2 out in the inning and nobody on. Scored 2-0 Pittsburgh, bottom of the 4th. Barry Bonds, a home run. Other RBI by Bonds also. 3-2. With Eric Davis on deck, Zane Smith leading 2-0 will have to take his chances here. Make him swing. And he did to King. For the out. First time the Reds have gone down in order. They've been shut out on 3 hits and trailed 2-0. High out for Ken Griffey coming over there. I guess we have a bunting situation here, Tim.
We mentioned earlier Jay Bell in the first inning trying to bunt, and Reedus was thrown out at second base. Bell with 31 sacrifices. Pirate record 35, the major league record 46, and you got to go all the way back to 1907 when Bill Bradley had 46 sacrifice bunts. National League record 43.
That was after Bradley went to Princeton or before?
That was not the same Bill Bradley.
And it's ball 1 to the batter, Jay Bell.
So Leland now switching his strategy, not having Bell bunt, and Gene Lamont, the third base coach, getting the signs. Since it's a ball and no strikes, there's not much chance of a pitch out. You may see a hit and run here.
Or a straight steal by Reedus, who has stolen 6. Pittsburgh lost 1 man stealing today. And Oliver came up ready to throw, and that's ball 2. It's another thing you see pitchers do, particularly young pitchers. Fellas up to bunt, ball 1, ball 2. Next thing you know, you invite them to hit and run.
Yeah, you tease them into hitting away because they're ahead in the count. Whereas if you had thrown the strike on the first or second pitch, allowed him to bunt, then you have a man on second and 1 out.
Yeah, let him bunt. He steps off. Quick move. Leadoff single by Ritas was the 5th Pittsburgh hit. Bell's waiting for Ritas to get his breath back. The first baseman for Cincinnati has done a good enough job defensively. There's Leland. He flashes the signs to Lamont. And then on to the batter and runner. There's the runner, Ritas. Chris Hammond behind on the count, 2-0. Hit and run. Swing and a miss. And stolen base for Ritas. Well, that's what happens when you get behind on the count.
Instead of at second base with 1 out, now there's Ritas is at second base with nobody out, and the count still in favor of Jay Bell. An excellent jump by Ritas. Watch Larkin coyly allow Ritas to slide and then try to get him on the foot as he thinks he might slide by the bag. He knew he didn't have a chance to get him initially, so he tries to get the foot as he slides by the bag, but Ritas just hooks that bag with his left foot.
Now the Pirates here in the 5th, leading 2-0 with a chance to get another. And it's the job of Bell to move it. And here's a wild pitch. You ever see a pitch like that? That's ball 3. I think he wanted to stop, and it would have been a balk. And so he turned it loose. Rookie jitters.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't have hold of the ball properly. And Bell's going to bunt. Now it's 3-1. And that ball missed by about 8 feet, and Lou Piniella's got to be thinking, now what kind of pitch was that? You know what I don't understand about Lou? Stan Williams, the pitching coach. I don't understand why any manager would wear a watch.
Tim, we can watch that again. The first base umpire might have distracted the pitcher. He was telling him, go ahead and pitch, and he might have upset the kid somehow. He pointed at him as he was in the middle of his delivery.
Should be a balk on the umpire.
Yeah. Send him down to first base. Now the count is 3-1. Here they call it a balk and no pitch, and now a base hit, and the run is home. And that makes it 3-0. So they had their option on the balk, so the runner advanced. It was no pitch. And the balk applied.
Balk applied, but you do have the option of taking. If you hit the ball out of the ballpark, then it'd be a home run. And obviously, because Bell drives in Ritas from third base, he gets the option. No way he's coming back to hit again. That's a knock right there, and an RBI for Jay Bell, his 39th of the year.
And there's nobody out, and now the Pirates lead 3-0. And a base hit to right by Van Slyke, and the runner goes on to, well, he stops. I thought he should have gone anyway.
Yeah, I do too. He may have had to wait to allow the ball that Van Slyke hit to get by him, and consequently didn't have a good jump from first base. And it looked like he may have hurt his right leg rounding second.
This crowd is restless. It's a tough day for Cincinnati. They lost that doubleheader last night and had to pitch a rookie today.
Yep, Bell, just that momentary delay. He had to wait for the ball to get by. I think he still would have made it, but with nobody out, there's no sense taking a chance with Bonilla and Bonds coming up.
Now the pitcher steps off. He's given up 3 runs, 7 hits, walked 3. He's been tagged for a homer. Bonilla could really make Pittsburgh comfortable. 2 on, nobody out. And a strike. Rick Naylor pitched in the doubleheader last night. He's warming up. He doesn't particularly like the bullpen, but to help the club in a winning year, he's willing to do it. For Lou Piniella, who now comes out of the dugout.
And check it out. Lou's got a watch on. There he is. He's checking it out. Must have heard me.
Yeah, time to take him out. I didn't know they went by the watch.
I thought it was pitches.
He might leave him in there.
Lou might say, well, it's 2:28 Eastern time. It's time to bring in the right-hander. But I don't think Mailer's ready. It looked like Lou was saying, I don't know what you're thinking about. It's really tough. You're in a pennant race. It's only the second start for a young left-hander. Can't chew him out a lot. You don't want to lose him.
No. Didn't look like it was a very friendly visit.
No, it didn't.
And you're right. Mailer hasn't had time to get ready in the bullpen. And it's strike one to the batter, Bonilla, who has walked and lined out to left. Tough game for Chris Hammond. 14-1 in the minor leagues down in Nashville. He needs a triple play. There's a run home here in the 5th. And the ball gets away. That'll be another wild pitch. Second and third and nobody out.
Second wild pitch. Hammond, 2 balks, one of which was nullified because of the hit. This ball off the glove of Joe Oliver. Whenever you see a catcher going at a ball in the dirt with the glove, he's not approaching it properly. You try to block that pitch. It was a strike, by the way. So Bonilla in the hole, but Hammond's in a bigger one.
And so's Piniella on 0-2. Foul ball. And the Cincinnati has a little breathing room. They can afford to lose a double there. They can afford to flatten out a little bit, but you never know where it's going to lead. The problem. Ball to third, and the runners stay. Sabo throws Bonilla out. With 1 out, that runner might have tried to score. With nobody out, he stayed home. And now you have Bonds.
They're going to put him on and probably bring in Mailer.
Put him on even against the left-hander.
Tell you don't see this too often, but Lou Piniella knows how well Barry Bonds has been hitting left-handed pitching. Even Bonds is looking over at Piniella. Not sure he'll bring in Mailer, but Mailer's ready now. And if Piniella does bring in Mailer, you may see a switch to Wally Backman by Jim Leyland.
So there's the walk to Bonds, who had previously doubled and homered, and that brings Piniella out of the dugout. That's the 4th walk issued by the youngster Hammond, one of them intentional. 2 wild pitches and a balk. 3 runs, 7 hits, leaves 2 men on base for Rick Mailer.
Central City is crumbling.
What's that? Oh, my God.
Rick Mailer gets a pitch pass to Jeff King with the bases loaded and 1 out. Mailer, not an overpowering pitcher. He spots the fastball, has a very good change.
Good curveball, too. That's one of his out pitch. Change-up curveball.
There's the curve and a foul. That's strike 2.
Tell you, Lou Piniella, an interesting move here, walking the left-handed hitter Barry Bonds, and Lou trying to keep things in control and trying to prevent Pittsburgh from scoring in this inning, so the Reds remain in the game. Otherwise, they could blow them out right here.
Yeah, they have 1 run across, and the visiting Pirates are on top 3-0. And Mailer wants the strikeout, the pop-up, or the double play. On 0-2. And he got him. He slipped a fastball past. That's a big strikeout. On the bench is Chris Hammond. 4 1/3, 3 runs, 7 hits. Struck out 1, walked 4, 1 intentionally. Had a tough day. And Rick Mailer with a big grin on his face.
That's what happens when a young hitter is looking too much for the off-speed stuff. He set him up with the off-speed stuff and then blew the fastball by him.
Now Don Slaught with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Strike 1. Naylor has a record of 4 and 5, 3 saves. Breaking ball low. Third base runner is Jay Bell. Andy Van Slyke not running at full speed at second, and at first base, Barry Bonds with 2 out. Ground ball for Larkin. Innings over and only 1 run, so the Pirates didn't blow him out of there. 7 men left now for Pittsburgh.
You know, when you got it right, you got it right. Whether you're talking about this, or whether you're talking about the one and only Diet Cola that does it for Ray, Diet Pepsi. You know, nothing tastes as good to me as Diet Pepsi. All right, now who is the wise guy?
Diet Pepsi with 100% NutraSweet.
Now, that's the right one, baby.
It's new. Speed Stick deodorant now has its most powerful combination of ingredients ever. Its stronger new formula delivers more defense against odor. It has no alcohol. Its protection doesn't fade. Speed Stick, new stronger formula.
My athlete's foot kept flaring up. Put it out, it just flare up again. Then my doctor told me about Tenactin. It cures recovering athlete's foot. Use it regularly. It'll keep the fire from coming back.
Tenactin puts the fire out for good. Some people think he's a Superman. But when a 43-year-old has to throw 75 fastballs, even Nolan Ryan's muscles can ache. So after the game, it's the medicine doctors recommend most for sprains and strains, Advil.
For me, it's a couple of Advil, and those muscle aches are long gone. And Advil's gentler on my stomach than aspirin.
Today, it isn't aspirin or Tylenol. It's Advil.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Advil, tablets and caplets, advanced medicine for pain.
People at Best Western tell me they're remodeling hundreds of their hotels. When I was remodeling my house, I became like a real general contractor. First week, I didn't show up. Now Best Western is updating lobbies, restaurants, rooms, everything, all without disturbing their guests.
At Best Western, you'll notice the changes, but not the changing.
To tell you the truth, I don't see how they do it.
Bottom of the 5th inning, and if you're a Cincinnati fan, you want to say, let's get going. They trail 3-0 against Zane Smith, and the Reds have been limited to 3 hits, 3 base runners, and then 3 double plays followed. Eric Davis leads it off. He struck out his first time. Ball 1 to Eric.
Eric, a relatively popular player here in Cincinnati until he signed that $9 million, 3-year contract this year, and has not produced up to the capabilities that people think he ought to. He's even hired a public relations firm here in Cincinnati to better his image, or to at least find out why he's so maligned publicly.
There's a perfect way to get your image on a higher level, isn't it?
Home runs. And there's his rate right there. He leads all Cincinnati players. That's forever now, folks. 1 every 15.5 at-bats, even better than Frank Robinson. Wally Post, George Foster, Lee May, Ted Kluszewski, and Johnny Bench are 6 and 7.
He's called out on strikes. Swung at a bad pitch his first time, called out this time. That hitting can be a confusing way to make a living.
We talked about all the ground balls that Zane Smith throws, but you heard LaValliere allude to the fastball that he comes inside to right-handers, and has used it twice to strike out Davis. His only 2 strikeouts.
So the leadoff man is gone in the home half of the 5th, and Glenn Braggs is up. And that one was a half swing and no swing. Braggs singled his first time. Three to nothing Pirates. Let's see what's happening elsewhere in baseball. Check out some scores. Angels lead the Red Sox in the 5th. Yanks over the Mariners in the 4th. Strike to Braggs, 2-1. In Kansas City, leading the Brewers 6-0 in the 4th inning. This pitcher, Zane Smith, hasn't walked anybody. Fan 2. Runs it to 3-1 on Braggs.
I think baseball players take the brunt of the, talked about the maligning as far as the salaries are concerned. You never hear an interior lineman in football booed because he's making too much money.
There's ball 4 by Smith. 1 out, 1 out.
You hear a few basketball players booed because they're not making, or because they're making too much money. But baseball players, it's different with baseball, and I don't really know the reason for that, Jack.
Well, they're very visible on an individual basis.
Yeah, yeah. Almost naked out on the field in your performance. Baseball individually a team game.
See if Hal Morris can solve Zane Smith. 1 on, 1 out. And he got a strike in there.
3 double plays in the first 3 innings, and it's not unusual for Zane Smith to throw double play balls. He leads the majors in double play ratio.
Pitch to Morris is 1-1.
Those are ground ball double plays. You saw 24% of the time. So 1 out of 4 times when runners are in double play, when runners are at first or second, there's a double play. 1 out of 4 times. That's remarkable.
Morris is in the hole. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tim, this batter, Morris, stands way off the plate, but he drives into the plate when he swings. Cincinnati warms up a left-hander down in their bullpen, Rosario Rodriguez. 2-2.
All good hitters go into the ball. You've got to have some way of protecting the outside part of the plate. Otherwise you're vulnerable to breaking balls away. Usually if a hitter stands off the plate and dives into the ball, he's vulnerable inside. If he's on top of the plate, he's quick inside. You have to be.
There's a hit. Oh, the Reds might have something going.
And, Jack, that was a perfect example. That slider right on the outside corner, and Morris stepping into the ball spanks it the other way. See how far away he is from the plate. Now watch him stride into the ball to handle the slider. And he hits it the other way. That's perfectly done by Morris. A good pitch, good hitting.
So this is the first time the Reds have had 2 men on base, and they do so with 1 out. It's up to Billy Hatcher to keep this mild uprising alive. 3-0. The Pirates lead in the 5th. Hatcher flied to right his first inning. He has 4 home runs. He's the tying run at the plate. Pittsburgh is out, hit the Reds 7-4. Ball 1 inside, so Zane Smith brings a leak here in the 5th inning. He started with a walk with 1 out. Hatcher hits it down the line. Looks good. Foul ball. Foul ball. Third base umpire Steve Ripley had the call. Brother, that was close.
Well, I tell you, I had visions of Billy Hatcher hitting a home run off Jesse Orozco in the 14th inning of the 1986 National League Championship Series to tie it for Houston. And when he hit the ball, he was running to first about like that, almost backwards, trying to use body English to get it fair, like Carlton Fisk did on that ball he hit in Game 6 of the '75 series.
2 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tries it again. That's going to fall way short for Bonds. A one-handed catch coming up. 2 out. Bonds is the best left fielder probably in baseball. I know in the National League for sure. He can do it, can he?
He can go get him. He can run. He can outrun his mistakes. He's got a good arm. He has 9 assists. That's third in the National League.
Here comes a fella on the diamond who's been very busy, Ray Miller. Used to be the pitching coach at Baltimore. He's handled some good pitchers, and he's nursing this staff through the 1990 season. By the way, because you can only make one visit to the mound without lifting the pitcher, a coach, a pitching coach in particular, has to ask his manager, is it all right if I go out? So Jim Leyland said yes. 2 on, 2 out. There's Leyland. He was in a harness race the other night over at the Meadows in Pittsburgh, and he thinks he got ripped off.
Charity harness race. His first time. Probably his last, too.
2 on, 2 out. And ball one high to Joe Oliver, who has a half dozen home runs.
One of them against Zane Smith.
On at second base is Braggs. Al Morris at first, and a 1-1 count against Joe Oliver with 2 out in the 5th. And it's smack up to Joe Oliver. Smith is fan 2, walk 1. Made him reach for it. He fouled it, 1 and 2. Does he turn the ball over a little bit, Tim?
I think that was a breaking ball right there. I just think it's natural action that Smith has on the fastball. This is a breaking ball on the outside part. Watch the little loop in the curveball. It come from out of the strike zone and on the, that's what players refer to as backdoor breaking balls.
2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He just throws those fastballs with the seams, and that causes that ball to dart all over the place. He's got a very live fastball. That's why he gets so many ground balls. It's going down when the hitter makes contact.
Reds trailing here 3-0. Oliver breaks the bat and hits a line drive to the pitcher. The first man, Cincinnati, has stranded. New York. CBS News has brought you up to date. Here's a fly ball to right by Lean into the glove of Braggs for the first out here in the 6th inning. And you're up to date on what is transpiring in the volatile Middle East situation and those shots fired across the bow of an Iraqi ship. And if more details are forthcoming, you can bet that we're going to leave the ball game here and let you be aware of what transpires there. The pitcher is up with 1 out and a foul by Zane Smith, who's 0 for 2. Pittsburgh has the lead. They have out-hit the Reds 7-4. There's a Rick Mailer pitching. Ground ball to Mariano Duncan. And that's the second out. Pittsburgh has 3 runs, and they've also left 7. Cincinnati's hit into 3 double plays and left 2. Saw Lou Piniella on the bench trying to figure a way to get things started. And his pitcher is due to lead off in the next inning. There's a fan with a fan.
Marvelous franchise here in Cincinnati. They're about 360,000 ahead of last year. Their all-time attendance record set back in 1976 when the Reds beat the Yankees in 75, of course, winning 4 in a row. Or no, that was 76. They beat the Yankees 4 in a row in 76, beat Boston in 75.
Here is a strike to Gary Reedus.
That year in 76, they drew 2,629,000. A great franchise here.
Yeah, they might come close to that this year. They're projecting about 2.5 million during the regular season. With 2 out, an off-speed pitch, an old lollipop, 1-1. More than 30,000 here today. Mailer has retired 2, and he misses there, 2-1.
I think it was important for the franchise here in Cincinnati to win this year and to be as successful as they've been, so you can bury some of the things that were written about Pete Rose and the city last year.
2-2 to the batter.
Not necessarily the city in connection with anything with Pete, but that relationship, Pete Rose Way, right outside the stadium here. So it's nice to see the fans and Marge Schatz fans flooding back into Riverfront.
Off-speed pitch, and Mailer couldn't get it over. 3-2. And they'll challenge Reedus with 2 out and nobody on, and try to work the corner. Reedus has walked, singled, stolen a base, scored a run. Feel the game almost come to a standstill. We're in the 6th, and he chops it to Sabo. And the Pirates go down in order for only the 2nd time today. We'll return to Riverfront Stadium after this word from your local station.
When I first moved in to take care of my brother's 3 kids, everyone knew I was the right man for the job. Well, except for their grandma.
Well, for the sake of the kids, I do my best to tolerate you.
No, you don't.
Well, who can blame me? You're a foul-mouthed, ill-mannered buffoon.
What's your point?
Uncle Buck, Mondays this fall on CBS. This is CBS.
Now from the land of Orby, rent a super van. Travel in the comfort of a new luxury van with cruise, air, tilt, plush interior, TV, stereo, dual gas tanks, and luggage racks. Rent a super van by the day, week, or weekend. Ball games, amusement parks, Florida, Colorado. Vacation wherever you want, as long as you want. Now you too can travel happily ever after when you rent a super van. Orby's Rock Island, home of the super van man.
When you walk into Kimes Paint Center in Rock Valley Plaza, you know you're walking into this area's most advanced paint store. At Kimes Paint Center, we're in step with today in terms of color planning and color matching. With the aid of a computer color matching system and expert service to back it up, you know you're in good hands. Kimes is an independent dealer of Benjamin Moore Paints, a brand name which means top quality, and we always have a fully stocked supply of paint. That's us, Kimes Paint Center, Rock Valley Plaza.
Whether they got their hits years ago or can barely bat their weight today, all your favorite ball players can be found at ABC Collectibles. With over 1 million cards, ABC has players you never heard of before. But there's more. On Saturday and Sunday, September 8th and 9th, ABC Collectibles invites you to a baseball card show at the Moline Holiday Inn. There'll be thousands of rare cards along with hourly door prizes, giving you a chance to win rookie cards valued from $50 to $500. For more details, stop by ABC Collectibles, 6th Avenue, Moline.
Cincinnati Ball Club bats in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the pitcher is due up, and Todd Benzinger, a switch hitter, will bat for him. You saw Jim Leland. He was in a harness race last Sunday. He did that for charity. Here's ball 1 to the pinch hitter, Todd Benzinger, batting .255.
I tell you, he's been in one all year. When you think about it, the Pirates are trying to harness the Mets for the National League Eastern Division crown.
And a foul ball, even the count 1-1. Doing a good job of it to this point.
Got that right. And I guess Jim thought some symbolism was appropriate as he went out to the harness races last Sunday.
We have some footage of that, and you'll enjoy what Leland has to say about it. He's getting a lot of recognition as a good skipper for this Pirate club. Popped up for the third baseman. Now the shortstop, Bell. And there's one out. Here's what Jim Leland had to say about that excursion on the track.
It was great. I have a print finish photo of it, and it looks like I won. I still think I won. My horse's foot's clear over the line, and his head's back just a little bit, and the other guy's horse, his legs are way behind the line, but his nose is up, so I think I won. I think I got cheated. The guy that won the race was driving for the Little Sisters of the Poor. He had one of those habits on and everything, and I think it was fixed. I really enjoyed the race. I guess I finished second, but I hope to race again.
Go to the whip. That's what Jim Leland's doing with the Buccos now, the whip.
He's in another race here. There's one gone, and here is the leadoff man, Barry Larkin. 1 for 2. Zane Smith gets one in there. This Smith is a teasing kind of pitcher, isn't he, Tim? He never gives you anything really good to swing at.
He's a contact pitcher. You talk of contact hitters, of hitters that make a lot of contact. Well, Smith forces hitters to make contact, and when he's pitching well, it's on his terms, and he's pitched well today.
Yeah, he won't walk you. He's walked 1, fanned 2, and scattered 4 hits, and there's a pop fly into right field for Bonilla. Bonilla's a good enough outfielder. They moved him from third base. Let's check in with New York.
Well, Jack, at Boston, rookie third baseman Pete Coachman, his first major league game, his first major league hit, his first major league RBI. And the Angels are leading the Red Sox 2-0 in the 6th, Jack.
Okay, Greg, it's a 1-game lead for Boston over Toronto, 7 ahead of Baltimore, 8 ahead of Cleveland. And they're trailing today, as Greg Gumbel told us. There are 2 out and a strike to the batter and a fly ball that might not be caught. It is a ground rule double by Mariano Duncan. On a warm day like this, whenever the ball hits the turf, it bounces a good deal higher than it ordinarily does.
Well, you just knew it was a matter of time for Mariano Duncan to get a hit off Zane Smith. Batting .466 this year against left-handed hitters, and that's in about 135 at-bats. Mariano Duncan has been a godsend to the Reds, replacing Ron Oster at second base. But how about that? Entered the game batting .466 against left-handers. That leads all major league hitters right-handed against left-handed pitching.
Tim, it looked like Bonilla was upset he didn't catch that ball. Here is a strike call to Chris Sabo. At least that's what I thought. He was telling Van Slyke that maybe he should have cheated a little more over in that other direction. Runner at second, 2 out. The Reds have left 2, hit into 3 double plays. A changeup got Sabo. Now the Reds get a hit, and they've stranded their 3rd runner of the day. We played 6 innings. Pittsburgh's on top, 3-0.
Chevrolet introduces the bigger-than-ever 4-door Chevy S10 Blazer. Now America's best-loved sport utility vehicle gives you 25% more cargo room and 100% more doors. The bigger-than-ever, better-than-ever 1991 4-door S10 Blazer. Open one and see why nobody's winning like
Heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
When you've got your power stroke going, you've got confidence that nothing's going to beat you. Power Stick. The antiperspirant so effective, you get 24-hour odor and wetness protection in just 1 wide stroke. 24-hour protection in just 1 stroke. Nothing's going to beat you. Power Stick from Fabergé.
Oh, it's a long, long while from May to December, but the days grow short when you reach September.
At the Prudential, we believe that the end of a life should be no less dignified than all the years before it. That's why we've created the Living Needs Benefit, making it possible for those permanently confined to a nursing home to collect their death benefit while they're alive. So at a time when money should be the least of their concerns, it can be.
And these few precious days I'll spend with you. These precious days I'll spend with you.
This relief break is sponsored by Rolaids.
We have a new pitcher in the 3rd of the day for Cincinnati, Rosario Rodriguez. He was up previously with the Reds. There's a bunt foul by Jay Bell. We're underway in the 7th inning. Pittsburgh leading 3-0. Here are the top relievers these days. And Eckersley, 109, and Thigpen, 103. They count the wins, subtract the losses, add the saves, and take away blown saves. Franco of New York is tops in the National League ahead of Randy Myers of Cincinnati. Dave Bell corks it to left. That ball's flying pretty good, but it's caught by Hatcher. First out, 7th inning, and the young pitcher says, "Poof." 1 out.
Bell had the punch, but not enough lift. Breaking ball, the slider down and in to Bell, and Hatcher with a good jump on it. Both teams gifted with their, or have gifted outfielders, guys who can really track them down, both Pittsburgh and Cincinnati.
Andy Van Slyke has had a couple of hits, 2 for 3. He drags the ball, and he's going to beat it out, I think. Yep, that's his 3rd hit. Very good drag bunt by Andy Van Slyke, and he is 3 out of 4. There was a time when he didn't play against left-handed pitchers.
With the Cardinals, watch Rodriguez get a late jump on this ball. You try, if you're taking the ball with you as a left-hander or pushing it as a right-hander, you try to get the second baseman to feel the ball. But with the first baseman, Morris, playing that deep, the first baseman's fine too. And an easy base hit for Andy Van Slyke. Good bunt.
1 on, 1 out for Bobby Bonilla. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Rodriguez throws ball 1. He is from Los Mochis, Mexico. He was up with the Reds briefly last year, appeared in 7 games. He doesn't speak much English. Throw to first. Ninguna una palabra de inglés. Ninguna. 1 on, 1 out here.
Poquita.
Not even in poquita. The batter, Bonilla. And that's ball 2. Eight base hits today for the Pirates. 3 of them by Van Slyke. He's the runner. Bonilla corks it into left, and it curves foul. 2-1.
Rodriguez freezing Van Slyke at first base. If you're the runner at first, watch the difficulty you might have with this type of move. Of course, the result, Bonilla almost lines a double. You can't worry too much about the runner at first base. It's that formula, 100%. If you're going to throw to first, do it 100% of the time, and no 80-20 formula.
That's 3-1. Van Slyke, the runner at first, has stolen 11 bases. Ordinarily, he'd be doing a lot of running, but he has that bad ankle, and he told us that it hurts when he runs, doesn't hurt when he bats. He might take off with Bonilla hitting. Whoop. Almost picked everybody off.
Almost picked Hal Morris off. This ball hits Hal on the on the heel of the hand. Look at Hal. He's getting into his fielding position saying, "Oh, what is this? Oh, man."
3-1. And that ball is to Morris, and then we need a tag play. Van Slyke is going to be tagged out by Morris, and that's a double play. 3-6-3, and the inning is over. Bad break for the Pirates and Bonilla. No runs, 1 hit. That's the first Cincinnati double play. They trail 3-0.
What's the new dress code for guys? Get into Sears and find out. Sears, now something for everybody. Now get Levi's jeans, $19.99, Kotler pants, $18.99, and Bugle Boy pants, $18.99 at Sears.
Anti-lock brakes, dent-resistant composite body panels, fuel-injected multi-valve engines. With performance technology like this, it's no wonder Pontiac has outsold every brand of imports for the past 6 years combined. And with big cash back on all Pontiacs, like up to $2,000 on Grand Prix, the clear winner in Pontiac's Race to Excitement is you.
Nothing's rougher on a man's face than shaving. That's why there's Skin Bracer. It's more than an aftershave. It soothes, cools, tightens pores, so it's good for your skin.
Thanks. I needed that.
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By Maybin.
Red Devil Enamel. You can always count on its durable finish. Harder than ordinary paints, its beauty lasts and lasts. Red Devil Enamel, for the finish of a lifetime.
He's the #3 heavyweight contender in the world. Donovan Razor Ruddock battles Kimil Odom, who defeated Tyson as an amateur this weekend on CBS Sports Sunday.
Take a look at the Around the Horn in the American League East. As Boston losing right now, but they have a one-game lead over Toronto. Roger Clemens, where will the Red Sox be without Roger? Leads the American League and the majors in earned run average, 5 straight wins. Fred McGriff with his 28th home run last night. About the August he's having. And Ben McDonald, one of the great stories in baseball this year, pitches tonight against the Oakland Athletics. He's 5-0 with a 1.55 earned run average.
For defensive purposes, Sid Bream takes over at first base for Gary Reedus. Reedus had a walk and a single, 1 for 3, and he stole a base. And here's Eric Davis, and hits the first pitch to Bonilla. And he wasn't very sure on that catch, and boo. You can hear these fans boo. Eric Davis is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a fly ball.
Now, Davis has had some company. Zane Smith has not allowed the Reds to hit any balls solidly all afternoon. Only 5 hits. And there have been a lot of right-handers hitting the ball the other way. Those lame fly balls the other way, which means a lot of action on his fastball.
Glenn Braggs is the right fielder. He's been on base twice with a single and a walk. Reds have left 3, hit into 3 double plays. Getting late here. We're in the 7th inning. And that evens the count 1-1. Zane Smith has pitched 1 complete game this year. This is his 2nd Pirate outing. He was the winner his first time. Braggs coming over from the American League, and there is Zane Smith, acquired from Montreal. Here's Montreal in the middle of a race, and they send Smith over to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Well, you know, when they traded Smith, they were actually 10 games behind, but since that time, they've really come on. They're 7 out now, but they got as close as 4.5 this last week.
And isn't this fellow going to be a free agent at the end of the year?
Exactly. So the Pirates have to decide whether they're going to sign Zane Smith.
Trying to get him with a change inside, 3-2. I think it was a change-up. At least I see those fingers extended as he delivers, leading 3-0. He'll challenge here, 1 out. And he got a lucky break on a line drive right to the second baseman. Greg Gumbel has some more info for us from New York.
Well, Jack, here's the youngster everybody's talking about. Kevin Moss of the Yankees touches up Brian Holman for his 14th home run of the year. What a season he's having, and he hasn't been here for all of it. The Yankees leading the Mariners 5-0 in the 6th, Jack.
We had a chance to see Kevin Moss last weekend in Oakland. Boy, with that Yankee Stadium, that short porch down the line.
That ball's fair, but he started to run too late, and he is out. Morris had a perfect bunt down, but he thought it was going to go foul, and he cost himself a base hit. We've played 7, 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Along the edge of San Francisco Bay, just off the Embarcadero, you'll discover the Fog City Diner. Elegant as a formal dining car, yet friendly as a Main Street cafe, where people reserve weeks in advance to taste the red curry mussel stew or the grilled chicken with roasted peppers. So leave your troubles behind, but bring your Visa card, because at Fog City, they take things easy, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Oh, it's on the left side of my neck. I can barely move it.
Tell Nuprin where it hurts.
I overdid it. Pain's right in the small of my back.
Tell Nuprin where it hurts. Get relief right at the site of pain. Nuprin has ibuprofen. It works right at the spot to help stop the chemical reaction that triggers pain.
How's the back? Pain's gone. Back feels great.
You know what? Daddy's neck feels great.
Yeah.
Tell Nuprin where it hurts.
The engine test looked good.
This engine's got incredible stamina. It'll do it.
But there was only one way to be sure. The Hullman Indy Challenge. 24 hours at over 100 miles an hour. No test for an ordinary truck. Lap after lap, hour after hour, this production Chevy truck closed in on the record, and in the end, shattered it.
Really solid engine.
And with 77 models redesigned and engineered, GM is putting quality on the road.
CBS Sports presents Major League Baseball. Today's game is brought to you by General Motors. GM is putting quality on the road. Visa, accepted at nearly 7 million places worldwide. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Budweiser, the king of beers. Remember, know when to say when.
If you're a bridge player, there's an adage that says one peek is worth two finesses. If you're a baseball player, one peek turns a hit into an out. That peek right there.
He deprived himself of a base hit, and Slaught threw him out to end the last half inning. And here comes Barry Bonds, who's been nothing but trouble against the Reds today. He's had an RBI double, hit his 24th home run, and was given a walk. He takes a strike from the rookie pitcher, Rosario Rodriguez. And he did not go around. 2-1. Into the 8th inning, and there's the line score. Now 3-1. Now it's, yes, 3-1. 3-1 the count. Bonds' home run was his 24th of the year. Good play, Duncan. Good on. Nice play by Mariano.
Fine play to come up with this ball, but watch the whirl from the knee to complete the play. Nice play by Mariano Duncan.
For the first out in the 8th inning. Duncan had been playing shortstop for the Dodgers and appears to be a lot more comfortable at second base.
He came over last year from the Dodgers to replace Barry Larkin, who had torn ligaments in his elbow in that skills competition before the All-Star game. Now he feels quite comfortable at second.
This foul ball off the bat of King is out of play. And Duncan has dislodged Ron Oster from the second base position. Tim, these pitchers go through Van Slyke, Bonilla, Bonds. They might be inclined to relax a little bit against King, and he's burned some people. He pops this one up for the second out. 2 out. In this game, Barry Bonds has driven home 2 of the 3. He doubled home a run in the first. He hit the solo home run in the 4th. And Zane Smith is holding the Reds down 5 hits through 7 innings. With only 1 walk, only 2 strikeouts. Rodriguez getting along all right. He pitched the 7th. He's working the 8th. And that's going to be caught by Davis. Down go the Pirates. 1, 2, 3 here in the 8th inning. Pittsburgh still leading. 3-0. Hatcher, Oliver, and the pitcher due up.
The world's toughest tennis, the U.S. Open.
There's something new coming to you from Budweiser. Something completely new. It's completely different and completely refreshing. Introducing Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste and dry brewed for no aftertaste. So if you're looking for smooth draft taste and no aftertaste, try Bud Dry.
In case you were wondering, in case there was even a lingering doubt. He's back. Boxing on HBO.
I'm a real wild one. Wild one. Wild one. Wild one.
Freewheeling, scene-stealing, out of control. Summer movies on HBO. Simply the best.
What's the new dress code for guys? Get into Sears and find out. Sears, now something for everybody. And now, get into Bugle Boy pants for only $18.99 at Sears.
It's new. Speed Stick deodorant now has its most powerful combination of ingredients ever. Its stronger new formula delivers more defense against odor. It has no alcohol. Its protection doesn't fade. Speed Stick, new stronger formula. I'm in.
Jessica's niece finds selling real estate can be murder, but will her aunt buy her story?
I mean, this is absurd.
On Murder, She Wrote. Then, she knows him as a judge and as a lover. She doesn't know he also may be a killer. Victoria Principal is trapped in A Naked Lie Sunday.
Pittsburgh takes a 3-0 lead into the bottom of the 8th. There's Stan Belinda. We might see him out of the Pirate bullpen before the day is over.
I think the reason for that, Jack, as you see, he leads Major League rookies with 6 saves. The reason that you'd see Belinda instead of Bill Landrum, who has 12 saves, twice as many as Belinda. Landrum had 2 shots in his shoulder yesterday and probably will not be ready until tomorrow. Maybe, but probably not.
Well, perhaps Zane Smith can go the distance. He's had 1 complete game this year. Billy Hatcher shows a bunt, bunts it foul. We're underway in the bottom of the 8th inning. Smith is only 2-7 lifetime against Cincinnati. And 0-2 this year. He pitched a complete game against them, but lost. The Angels lead the Red Sox in the 6-4-0. Yanks with Moss a home run, 5-0 over Seattle. And the Royals pounding the Brewers in the 7-7-1. There's a strike from Zane Smith. He's making it look easy, Tim.
And he really is. He's staying ahead of the hitters and getting, as we said, a lot of right-handed hitters to hit the ball either on the ground or the other way.
Oh, what an excellent fielding play, and that would have been a hit. 1 out.
Got to charge those balls. Well, he becomes the 8th fielder, and it's a good thing. Well, that's a fine reaction play by Zane Smith. I mean, by the time you finish, as you see the reaction of Billy Hatcher, too, that's as Smith turns a hit into an out. When you finish your windup, you're only about 52, 53 feet from the hitter. That ball hit like a bullet. Fine reactions by Smith.
And the batter, the catcher, Joe Oliver, strike 1. You recall that his pitcher, Zane Smith, started a double play back in the 3rd inning with an excellent fielding play. So he has helped himself. There is 1 out. Oliver has a hit, and he hits it to deep left. That ball's going to ruin the shutout.
Home run given up by Zane Smith in 52 1/3 innings. The last guy to homer against Smith, Barry Larkin, back on July 16th. A curveball that hangs inside, but not for long.
And now we have a pinch hitter. Batting for the pitcher. And it is Quinones, Luis Quinones. He's a switch hitter, batting with 1 out. And you have to look at the rookie, Rodriguez. He held things in check. And Mailer, who got out of a big jam earlier. So the Reds are still in it. Quinones batting with 1 out, takes ball 3. And both bullpens spring into action. There is a strike. Quinones trying to get on to bring up the tying run. he may take another. Leads the National League as a pinch hitter in average. Took a strike. And he took a pitch, and he took ball 4. Pittsburgh down in their bullpen has a right-hander, Doug Bear, warming up, and the left-hander is Bob Kipper. Tying run will come to the plate. James Smith on the ropes here in the 8th. So he leads 3-1. Cincinnati's Tim Leana is down in the bullpen. He lost for the first time this year the other day. He'll be the new pitcher. He'll work the 9th. And now here comes the harness horse driver, Jim Leyland.
I think Jim's going to take his time. No, he didn't take his time. He went right for Doug Bear.
16th game for Doug Bear.
What's the new dress code for guys? Get into Sears and find out. Sears, now something for everybody. Now get Levi's jeans, $19.99, Kotler pants, $18.99, and Bugle Boy pants, $18.99 at Sears.
In baseball, if you traded today, you're playing somewhere else tomorrow. I know. I played for the Twins, the Rangers, the Angels, and then some. And when you've got to move fast, you can't worry about selling your house. I let the Century 21 people worry about that. I trust them. And nobody works harder to get the job done. Hey, I love Century 21. Hey, Bert. Uh-oh. You got a second? I just wish I wasn't such a good customer.
Nothing's rougher on a man's face than shaving. That's why there's Skin Bracer. It's more than an aftershave. It soothes, cools, tightens pores, so it's good for your skin.
Thanks. I needed that.
Skin Bracer Aftershave.
By men.
My athlete's foot kept flaring up. I'd put it out, and it'd just flare up again. Then my doctor told me about Tinactin. It cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly, and it'll keep the fire from coming back.
Tinactin puts the fire out for good.
During the 70s, I was playing for the best team in football. You know what? I still am.
The NFL Today, 12:30 Eastern.
Zane Smith could win, can't lose. Be too much to expect to pitch him in a complete game on such a day as this. Here's Doug Bear taking over. No wins, no losses.
And here's that curveball that hangs inside one more time for Joe Oliver to put the Reds aboard. And then Luis Quinones took 4 balls from Zane Smith. And Jim Leyland decided that's enough. And the oldest player in the National League, Doug Bear, the oldest player, not only pitcher, but anybody in uniform who is active as a player. Doug Bear, 11 transactions. He started with Pittsburgh, and at age 41, he's back with Pittsburgh.
He still has a good fastball. And he gets a strike in there to the batter, Larkin, who's hit 5 home runs this year. And is 1 out of 3 on this afternoon. Doug Bear would love to get the double play ball to win this 8th inning. Foul ball out of play. And that's strike 2. Now one of the nasty boys has joined Leana in the bullpen. Randy Myers.
That's in case Cincinnati ties it. I would imagine Lou Piniella will put Leana in there if it's still 3-1 or 3-2, and Myers if it's 3-3 or better.
0-2 to the batter, Larkin. Doesn't strike out very often. Quinones the runner. And that's good enough for only 1 out as we beat the relay. 4-6-3. The ball is hit to rather deep second. And a fielder's choice keeps the Reds alive here in the 8th.
Yeah, it's funny about crowd reactions. How many times do you hear a fielder's choice cheered?
He of the A's takes the title.
Dave Magadan was lifted today in the Mets game after he went 0 for 1. Eddie Murray and Lenny Dykstra play tonight, but you see what they have to do to catch McGee. And this afternoon, Frank Viola and the Mets beat the Pirates 6-3, making Viola the 6th man this